Hello friends, thank you for watching this video, and today I would like to show you one of the amazing feature of Microsoft Azure. The feature that we are going to talk about is a requirement. Most of the organizations, they will have on-prem infrastructure, and they also want to start utilizing some of the infrastructure in Azure. But they also want a connectivity between that on-prem infrastructure and the cloud infrastructure. So to stabilize that connectivity, Microsoft has given us multiple options, and one of them is VPN. So today, when we are talking about the VPN, then we are going to talk about there are two types of VPN services that is offered by Microsoft. One is called point-to-site VPN, and second is called site-to-site VPN. There is also one more service that is basically Microsoft offer, that is called Express Route. So, what is the difference between these various services? Express Route basically a service provider who provide you a dedicated channel from your on-prem infrastructure to your Azure infrastructure. Right, you can select the vendor and then you'll get a dedicated line. In another side, VPN, you can have a public network, right? You'll have an internet connection. Top of that, you're going to create your own VPN to connect your on-prem infrastructure with your cloud infrastructure. So today, we will talk about one of the service which is called point-to-site VPN connectivity. So what is the difference between site to site and point to site? So point to site is a connectivity that is between a computer, right? And that computer will go and connect to your Azure via VPN and then try to access Azure based resources. So that is called point to site. Site to site is a broader view where one office try to connect to Azure. So where we have to go with point to site and where we have to go to site. So point to site is that you might have a locations where there are only less number of users, might be 10 20 users, and your resources are in cloud. So you don't want to set up a dedicated connectivity, right, from your branch office to your Azure. Another side, you have more number of people, and then you want to connect, right, the entire branch office to your Azure network. In that case, you can go with site to site. So we are going to talk about point to site here. Right. So now, when we talk about the gateways, right, VPN gateways, so we'll have various generations that is given by Microsoft, and based on that, you have to opt and try to understand which gateway is suitable to your environment. So, and for your understanding, I'm tell you, when you're going to create a gateway in the Microsoft Azure, that gateway will be same gateway for point to site and same gateway for site to site. It's not like that you have to create two separate gateway. And for your information, at the same time, we can use the same gateway for both purpose as well. That means you might have some remote users who can utilize point to site connectivity, and same time you'll have some dedicated office user who are going to use site to site connectivity. You don't need to create two gateway for that, right? Now try to understand what is the capacities of the gateway that you're going to select. So you have a generation 1 gateway with a basic plan, and that can support maximum site to site connectivity, right? So the maximum site to site connectivity is 10 tunnels it will support. And how many connections it will support in case of point to site? 128, right? What is the speed that you're going to get? It's 100 Mbps, right? And it will not support BGP, and it will not support this IKE and open VPN connectivities, right? That's the restriction. Another case, if you go with the VPN gateway 1, where you have the maximum tunnel can be created is 30, maximum point to site connectivity devices can be connected is 128, right? And then here you can have point to site connectivity with this is for SSTP and this is for IKE. IKE is 250, but if you can go with the basic, there was no IKE supported, which is a certificate based connectivity, right? And the speed is also increased from 100 Mbps to 650 Mbps. So you can start with this gateway service, right? Let's go back. So currently I have one web server. This is my web server, and why I am calling it a web server, because it has a website. And this is my public IP address. If I'm going to type this IP address here and try to uh, search, it will not show me because I need to open the port. So I'll go to my network and I go to my, because port 80 is not open, so I just go here, right? And in the services I choose HTTP, right? And then I'll HTTP port 80, right? So I have to add this port, and once I will add that port, and this will get refreshed and the website will able to open it. So this is a web server. Another side, I have a virtual machine in on-prem. This is my Windows 11 machine, and I want to connect this Windows 11 machine with the help of point to site and try to access the resources that is there in my Azure, the web servers. Okay, so I think this should work now. Yeah, this one is added. Let's see. Okay, so this is the default website, and then we'll have to go for, this is my test website that I've created there. So you can see that this particular server is running with a web. So if you go to the network, the server has a private IP address as well. So if I'm going to use this IP address, right, this URL, I am able to access this URL from this Windows 11 machine, right, as you can see, right. But if you try to change this with the private IP address that we have here, right, let me go here, copy this private IP address, go back to the VM, replace this IP with the private IP address, and then you try to get it, you'll not able to reach it. But post the point to site VPN connectivity, this machine can able to access this particular website with the help of private IP address. So that means the connectivity between my machine, client machine, and my VPN server is stabilized, and then I can try to access the web server. Okay, so the first part of this is we have to go to the network, right? So if you go this particular network, right, then you go to the subnet. So this is the network that I have for my the Windows Server 2019 that I have, the web server that I hosted, right? And now there is an option here called Gateway Subnet. You click on that. You don't need to make any changes. The name will automatically taken. Just keep everything as it is and save it. Why we are creating this gateway subnet? Because when we are going to create a VPN gateway, so the VPN gateway can connect to that particular gateway subnet to reach to this particular network, the default network that we have. Okay, so this is the first thing that we need to do. Now once we have done it, right, I believe, let me open a new tab, log in with my account, and now we go to the resources and search for virtual network gateway. So if you go here, you'll able to see this is a Microsoft Gateway Service. You click on here, create, and then it will ask you what is the name of this particular service. So you call it a PRD VPN gateway, right? So now here there are two options that you can able to see. One option is called VPN, and then second option is called express route, and you don't have the option called point to site VPN or site to site VPN. You have only one option called VPN, and then there are two options, route base and policy base. So we'll go with the route base, and if you can go to the drop down list, then you're able to see the different type of gateway options here. So let's select for the VPN gateway. VPN gateway, which was, if you can go back here, then you'll able to see VPN gateway maximum connection is that much with the speed of this. So we are selecting this one. Then you go to the network, right? So this is our network. If I'm going to select this network that I've created here, so this is the network, PRD network, and if I'm going to create this VTA, if I'm going to select this PRD network, it automatically select my gateway subnet, right? And that's the reason we created this gateway subnet, and there is no options to create any other gateway subnet. So one virtual network can support only one gateway subnet. So we select it. Now it will ask you the public IP address. So we call it a VPN gateway, right? IP, right? And we don't need an active mode, right? So rest everything keep it as disable, right? Click next, next, and done. This deployment takes some time, but the problem is that how do we create a connectivity between our how the client will get authenticated with the gateway services that we are deploying in the Microsoft Azure, right? So there is a solution for that, and that is called, we are going to have the option for a certificate based authentications, right? So the question is that how we are going to generate that certificate, right? So most of the company, they will have their enterprise certificate authorities, or they might have procured the certificate from third party certificate based organizations, right? Like DigiCert or GoDaddy or Symantec or any XYZ company, right? But in our case, we are doing this as a lab, so we are not able to get that certificate. So what we are going to do, we are going to use a self-signed certificate, right? And with the help of this article, which the site article I'll put in the, so there is an option how to generate a self-signed root certificate, and once the root certificate is generated, how to create a client certificate. And then we are going to use these two certificates, right, to basically create a connectivity between our on-prem virtual machine to the site to point to site gateway that we are creating inside the Azure. So let's go to our virtual machine. Let's minimize this. Let's open PowerShell as an administrator. So to create a certificate, we have basically those commands has been copied here, right? So this is the command that we are going to use. Here we are going to say that VPN root, right? VPN root cert and VPN client, cert. So let's use this first command to create a self-signed certificate. Okay, so you just start it as an administrator, paste this command and press enter. Okay, so now go back. Now we have created a root certificate. With the second command, we are going to create a client certificate. Press enter, and now you see it has generated the certificate. How you know that certificate is created or not? So you go here and search for my uh, manage certificate, manage user certificate. If you click here, if you go to the personal root, then you'll able to see there are two certificate has been generated. One is a root certificate, right? VPN root and VPN client, right? And both certificate is generated by, even the client is also generated by the VPN root only, right? So it's for client authentications, right? So now we want to use this certificate. So right click on this particular certificate, go to the export option, click next and select this option, do not export the private key. Next, choose the 64-bit encoded format for the certificate, click next, then browse, select the desktop and type here VPN root certificate, and then click save, next, and finish. This is successfully done. Same thing you can do with the client, but we don't have any other client, so we are going to use this client only, so we don't need to export this. So let's close it. Now the certificate is generated, right? So we go to this certificate that we have exported, we right click on this, right, click open with, right, and choose another app and choose notepad, click here, and now you can see the certificate is in front of you. Once the certificate is generated and exported, you just go back here, right, and just see if the gateway is successfully deployed or not. So now you can see that the public IP address is created. This gateway is also created, but some of the steps are under progress. So this thing will take some time, right? So if we go here and if we go to the home and if you go to the VPN gateway, you'll able to see the gateway is created, but still the settings are under progress, right? And you can only modify the things once these steps will be complete. So this is going to be complete very soon, right? So before this will, it will take some time, so let's do one thing. Let's see the options, right? How, what are the properties of this gateway till now? So as I told you, we have only one gateway and the gateway can be used for both purpose. So this is the option. If you click here, this is the option for the point to site configuration, and this is the option for site to site configuration, right? But to create a site to site configuration, you need to add another component. We call it a local gateway, right? So we need to add a local gateway, and this VPN gateway can be connected with a local gateway which contain the local VPN server information and can associate it with my VPN gateway. And then uh, in the on-prem side, we basically give the complete informations about the public IP address information of our VPN gateway. And then when the on-prem and we will create a shared key, and when the on-prem VPN try to make a connections with the VPN gateway in Azure, and with the help of shared key, both gateway will handshake and the connectivity can be stabilized. But that's not the part of this video. Our focus is only with point to site connectivity. So this already took 7 minutes, right? So just wait for. So till now, so if you go here, so option, the first option that we have is called, we need to have um, network, and second need to create, if you go back here, if you go to your network, virtual network, if you go here and you go to the subnet, then you call it a gateway subnet, right? I need to create a gateway subnet in VNet. The third thing, create VPN gateway and choose gateway subnet, and next is generate self sign root and client certificate, then create point to site configuration and add root certificate in gateway. Once we do this settings, we'll be done with the exercise and we'll able to do the connectivity. Let's see if this gateway is completed or not. Look like this setting is successfully done, or it's still in progress. Still in progress. Let's wait. Once this the gateway will come.